Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Unity Orlando. Our opening statement this morning is, I am a child of God and I live in the kingdom of health and abundance. Nope. Is that it? Yes, it is. Hey, cool. Let's all affirm that together. I am a child of God and I live in the kingdom of health and abundance. All right, let's all close our eyes and take a nice deep breath in. Let's affirm that together in the silence. And so it is. And now if you'd like to join us in singing, please stand and we'll sing our joy song. It's a chant called Light of the World. We are the light of the world, raising the vibration. Peace be with light, to be with light now, raising the consciousness. We are the light of the world, raising the vibration. Peace be with light, to be with light now, raising the consciousness. We are the light of the world, raising the vibration. Peace be with light, to be with light now, raising the consciousness, raising the vibration, raising the consciousness, raising the vibration. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning, Unity Orlando. How's everybody doing today? Good to see your beautiful faces and welcome online. Do we have any visitors here for the first time? I think we're all family. A couple announcements. Our chaplains pray every evening, as you know, at 8 p.m., and we invite you to join us. And this month's theme is Serving with Purpose. Also, chaplains are available to pray after service. So if you need a chaplain, come see. Well, right now, today, just me for first service. Also, the ladies are hosting, or the ladies group is hosting a ladies' tea on Saturday, November 4th at 1 p.m. Come join for a Saturday of finery, finger sandwiches, desserts, and fun. Please invite your lady friends and family. Tickets are now on sale for $5. See Carol Weldy for tickets, and proceeds go to cover food costs, and any remaining funds are donated to Unity Orlando. Also, the Soul Group Luncheon is this Friday at 11:30, and the topic will be EMF. What is it and how it can cause memory loss? And it will be presented by one of our prayer chaplains, Joy Miller. Reverend Bob's lesson today is Turn on the Light, but before I turn it over to Brian, I'm going to tell you a little story. This is a poignant story, so it's not going to get a big laugh, but it maybe have you think about a couple things. Anyway, at the age of 40, Franz Kafka, and he was born in 1883, who never married and had no children, walked through the park in Berlin when he met a young girl who was crying because she had lost her favorite doll. She and Kafka searched for the doll unsuccessfully, And Kafka told her to meet him there the next day, and they would come back and look for that doll. The next day, when they had not found the doll, Kafka gave the girl a letter written by the doll saying, "Please don't cry. I took a trip to see the world, and I will write to you about my adventures." Thus began a story which continued until the end of Kafka's life when he passed in 1924. During their meetings, Kafka read the letters of the doll, carefully written with adventures and conversations that the girl found adorable. Finally, Kafka brought back the doll. He bought one, and said that it had returned. And she said, "It doesn't look like my doll at all." Kafka handed another letter to the girl in which the doll wrote, "My travels have changed me." The little girl hugged the new doll and brought her home with quite a lot of happiness. So a year later, Kafka died, and many years later, the now adult girl found a letter inside the doll. In the tiny letter signed by Kafka, it was written, "Everything you love will probably be lost, but in the end, love will return in another way." And so isn't that sweet? Thank you, Linda, for that story. It's lovely. And now I'm going to turn it over to Brian.
Very nice. Thank you, Susan. And here's what we would call a Brian Eitner classic. It's called Light It Shines. Twinkle in the sky, all the reasons we ask why. A world so big, so bright and true, are certain clues God's here for you. The wind is strong to blow you down, the Spirit flies all around. No need to fear uncertainty. Shines for you and to be what you're here to be. With love you see the world could be a peaceful place, a saving grace, or any possibility. The wind is strong, could blow you down, the Spirit flies all around. No need to fear uncertainty, the light it shines for you and me. Strong to blow you down, the Spirit flies all around. No need to fear uncertainty, the light it shines for you and me. No need to fear uncertainty, the light it shines for you and me. No need to fear uncertainty, the light it shines for you and me.
button on, everyone can hear. There we go. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm glad you have wonderful songs on light, because it's one of my favorite topics. You're going to light it up today, huh? Okay. Hello to all of you at home. Hello to all of you who are here in person. Hello. Good to have you with us. Let's see, where are we? Number one, I understand you had a great speaker last week. Yeah. I guess I should get sick more often. I mean, it is amazing. He was telling, was it Susan? You're the one who was telling me that he said that he's pretty much booked a year out. But this Sunday, when I needed him, someone canceled. And he was available to us. Isn't that absolutely wonderful? I want to thank Susan, who covered that first week when I was away in... she did a stupendous job, didn't she? Yeah, we raise good speakers here, by the way. And we're very proud of that. We are a gathering of leaders. That's what we've been affirming for a long time. Let's see. Number one. I went to, yeah, that's the place. I went to Sedona, Arizona with Patty. This was her big birthday trip. And we went there for a week. We saw Paul out there. He's definitely everywhere. He was with some of his friends. This was their week to be out there. We intersected for a few days. It's beautiful. It's dry, which is quite a change from here. We crawled all over Bell Rock. Something I remembered from, 28 years ago when I was there with Lindsay and dragging her up there in a backpack. That's, she's in a backpack, and that's when she got her first sentence together. Down, Daddy, down. Not up, down. But yeah, I'm not sure that's Bell. It may be. Or it could be the one that's next to it, over Bell. But I think that one's Bell Rock. In either case, I had always remembered Bell Rock with great fondness. People had told me about the airport vortex, so we finally went there. An airport vortex, that can't be much. It wasn't quite at the airport. It was someplace close, and it was spectacular. I got up there and I said to everyone around, I went, wow, who cares whether this is a vortex or not? This is gorgeous. And then later, as I sat there, Patty and I both had an experience up there. So I was impressed when we meditated. So it was worthwhile. And then we went up to Boynton Canyon. Is that what it is? Yeah, and I found a mountain up there that I simply call my mountain. It was a wonderful trip, but on the very last day, I started realizing that every time I went outside, I got all stuffed up. Evidently, I don't do well with dust, and in the West, it's dusty. In either case, I came home with a cold. So I needed to get a guest speaker. God intervened and found a good one for us, one who could do it, and everything worked out really well. I suppose I could have drugged up and gotten up here, but after COVID, they don't like you to get in the pulpit and then go into coughing fits. It just doesn't go down well. So I decided, no, we won't do that. But I did manage to get my stamina back by this week. So it's good to be with you. Is this going to be a good week? Yes. I got an email, told me it's going to be a really good week for Naomi. Is it Tuesday you're having this birthday party? You have a son who's very proud of you. Anyway, he didn't say what year. What? No, I got an email. You'll have to have words with him later. Anyway. Okay, well, I'm having fun up here, but it's time to actually get down to business, isn't it? We traded topics. I had a love title, and his title included love, so we just switched them. And he became the love talk, and I continued my light talk that I had originally planned for last week, for this week. It's called Turn on the Light. And I'm simply going to start by quoting 1 John 1:5. You've heard me quote it before. God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. No darkness at all in God. Seeing spiritual light in the world. Seeing spiritual light in your life, seeing that you are a being of light, seeing light at all is one of the more spiritual things you can do. Because when you are seeing spiritual light in life, you are seeing God is present. You're seeing God is there. Now, darkness holds a lot of fear for us. You know, we got to beat back the darkness. The darkness is this terrible, powerful force in our world and in life. But let's get it really straight. Darkness is not a real thing. It's simply not seeing the light. It's the absence of light. And therefore, it is not knowing God is here. When you look at something and you go, oh, God can't be in the middle of this, you're in darkness. And right now, turning on the light is one of the more important things we can do. One of the phrases I have used throughout my life is there is no darkness that can stand up to light. I'm going to digress for a second. And the only actual, what do you call it when you cast out evil spirits or whatever? Exorcism. The only actual exorcism I ever did in my life was in my 20s, and one of my YOUers called me. And she said, we can't get the Catholic priest to come out, so will you do it? I said, well, it wasn't one of my courses. But there's one thing I know. There is no darkness that can stand up to light. So we went and filled the place with light, and in the end, it was extremely effective. There is no darkness that can stand up to light. You turn on the light, darkness is gone. Darkness is not real. It's just the absence of light. And the moment you turn on the light, it's no longer dark. There is no battle between light and darkness. You turn on the light, there's no battle. Darkness is gone. Simple as that. So with that in mind, we've got Romans 13:12, where Paul says, let us cast off the works of darkness. Let us put on the armor of light. Put on the armor of light. That can mean a lot of things. For me, it usually starts with image yourself surrounded in light. You want to walk through this world knowing you're walking in a bubble of light. Because you're going to need it some places where people don't see the light. You're going to have to be that bubble of light. It can mean that putting on the armor of light is seeing light shining where it is darkest. That's our job. Not to say, oh, this is light, that's dark. If that's dark, that's where I need to see the light. Because that's the one place I don't see it. So you look out at your life and you say, well, I'm not sure what darkness is. Where there is fear, that's called darkness. Fear and darkness, they're kind of the same thing. If you're feeling fear, you're in darkness. Because in God, there is no fear. And so consequently, what we want to do is wherever in our life we feel fear, we want to declare God is there. God is right here. Where you feel you're being treated unfairly, unfairly, where you are afraid of violence, where you are afraid of failure, where you are afraid of anything, that is where the light needs to be turned on. And you can literally turn on the light. Ernest Holmes once said, if you could see your prayer, it would look like a pathway of light. And that's a great image for prayer, by the way. A pathway of light. So, all this talk of light. Why are we talking about it? Because right now the world seems to be full of a lot of darkness, doesn't it? I don't know. There are a lot of people can hold a better perspective than I. But personally, I see this as a scarier time than when I was growing up and they told me to get under my desk because that would save me from a nuclear explosion. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. But in any case, I grew up in the whole Cold War. And my God, this time, there seems to be darkness across our planet in so many different places. Things that inspire fear, right? And that's why we need to turn on the light. Right now, the world needs people willing to turn on the light. Say, okay, great, but how do I do that? Well, the first step is to know that spiritual light is real. I want you to understand we are not talking allegorically here. I find it amazing. So many people who want to take the Bible literally, want to take references to light allegorically. Light is real. You say, well, I can't see it. Madame Curie said that too, and she got burned. Okay? In dealing with radium, you couldn't see anything, but it was there. And you may not see spiritual light right now. But if you can lift to a higher level, you will. And whether you lift to that higher level or not, that spiritual light is real. Very real. You just can't see it because you're not in an elevated state. When you are, you start having experiences of light. For me, I learned early when I was trying to work with my mind power, and I wasn't going to reference this, but, you know, when I was in my teens, I was infatuated with the idea of learning how to dissolve clouds. And I actually did. And I taught spiritual power for 15 years by taking groups of people outside and showing them how we could dissolve clouds. You'd pick two clouds, one side by side, you dissolve one, you leave the other. Believe me, teenagers were deeply impressed with this exercise. But there's something I learned. I could concentrate all I wanted, but that cloud didn't start to dissolve until I saw the sparkles. I don't know whether others of you have had that experience of the sparkles. But when you concentrate long enough, with your eyes open, we do a lot of concentration with our eyes closed. If you concentrate long enough with your eyes open, and you become very, very calm, you'll see the sparkles. Suddenly there are little brilliant sparkles throughout the entire atmosphere around you. And what you're seeing is the spiritual light that underlies everything. And what it means is you've reached an elevated state. That's all it means. People go out and say, you had an aura today. It was wonderful. And I say, I always have an aura. You saw it. You had the experience. When you see the sparkles, they've always been there. But you've reached an elevated state where you begin to see the light. I found it intriguing. One small aspect of what I experienced at the top of the airport vortex in Sedona was that when I opened my eyes after meditating, I saw the sparkles everywhere. Now, was I extremely peaceful? Was I feeling extremely elevated? Yes. So what I'm going to suggest is that they're real. They're there. And whenever you're elevated, you see them. Another experience that says light is real. I have a very good friend. Lots of people have experiences of light. They have short moments when they experience themselves truly glowing in light. And they truly know they're a spiritual being. Most of the time, we're pretty much sunk in this physical part of ourself. But once in a while, we have that experience. I know someone who woke up in the early morning hours, had to get up and get dressed in the dark before sunrise. But when she woke up, she had been dreaming about glowing in light, and she was still glowing in light. So she got up, and she didn't need to turn on the light. She went into a totally dark closet, picked out her clothes. And by the way, later that day, she realized they did match. And got dressed by this glow of light. Now, eventually it dissipated. But you look back on an experience like that and you think, was that real? Did that really happen? I don't know. Did she really get dressed without any light? Any artificial light? Yeah. So my first statement is this. Realize spiritual light is not an allegory. It's a real thing. And it's the way people have always experienced God. Moses, a burning bush, right? This tremendous light coming out of this bush, the fire that burned but did not consume. Okay. We don't see on this level most of the time because we're just plain not vibrating quite that high, but we can aspire to it. Okay? How do you aspire to seeing the light? Well, fake it till you make it, right? Isn't that the way people say it? It actually works. Image spiritual light and hold that image long enough, and you will eventually experience it. You'll no longer be imaging it. You will literally be glowing in light. In John 8:12, Jesus said, I am the light of the world. And he who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but he shall find for himself the light of life. If we follow Jesus Christ, we're meant to rise to a level where we can see that light of life. You each have it in your soul. That's why you exist. You each have the light of life. So Jesus came into this world, number one, to bring light into the world, the realization that God is everywhere. Number two, to awaken human beings to the realization that we are spiritual beings. We are beings of light. And number three, to help us find that light of life within at the center of our souls. And finally, to teach us to let that light shine into every dark area of our world. That's why we're here. Matthew 5:14 through 16. You are indeed the light of the world. He's speaking to everyone around him. He's already said, I'm the light of the world. Follow me, you'll find the light of life. Now he's saying, you are the light of the world. Get it? That's your role. You are indeed the light of the world. And they do not light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, so that it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. You have light within you. That's why you're alive. You have the light of life at the center of your being. Every human being that's ever come into the earth has had it. And God uses you to shine light into this world. When you finally get past your own darkness, you can finally fulfill your spiritual purpose in coming here, to shine light into this world. Our job as the children of God, our job as disciples of Jesus Christ, is to shine spiritual light on all the dark areas of our world. To know that God is there in spite of all appearances. I surrounded in light. I see that God is there in the midst of this. This is a very big assignment right now, with the world doing all the chaos it appears to be doing. But we can start by shining light into the dark areas of our own lives, to those areas in your life that aren't working out, that harbor a little bit of fear or worry for you. To them, we need to surround them and infuse them in light and declare, there is no darkness that can stand up to light. That's all you need for an exorcism. And some of our lives need a little bit of an exorcism. We need to exorcise, that is, cast out the darkness, as Paul said, and put on the armor of light. So, let's talk for a moment now on how we can let our light shine and turn on the light in the world around us. Talk about how we can do it. Number one, your prayers. Hold the image of a pathway of light. I love that image by Ernest Holmes, right? If you could see your prayer, you would see it as a pathway of light. It just kind of increases your prayer capability, because by seeing light, you're saying, God is here. You are seeing it visually, that God is there because God is the light. So, use that surrounded in light method, right? For everything in your life that causes you concern. Surrounded in light. Whether it's people, your job, things that are important to you, situations, whatever you must face. Before you face it, surrounded in light. When you feel that moment of fear or worry, turn and surrounded in light, declare that God is there. Surround your car in light, your house in light, your loved ones in light. And when you're worried about someone driving home late at night on a stormy night, get rid of those images of crashes and twisted metal and instead surround them in light. Number two, throughout your day, wherever you go, turn on the light. That's your job. You're a light bearer. How do you turn on the light? Well, wherever you are, image divine light filling the place and declare, God is in charge here. It may not look like it. There are a lot of places in our world don't look like it right now. And we need to see divine light permeating everything that's going on. So throughout your day, wherever you go, turn on the light. I'm in this situation, I'm going to see it filled with light. I'm in this situation, I'm going to see it filled with light. And I'm going to say, God is in charge here. Number three, each day put on the armor of light, like Paul suggested. That is, surround yourself in light each morning before you meet your day. I know somebody who would surround her car in light every day before she went out and drove it, and, found herself in the middle of an accident, and she had 6 inches of light around her car, and at least 3 different times moving cars came within 6 inches, but never hit her car. Well, why don't we do that with ourselves? Take a moment when you get up in the morning to surround yourself in light and remember you are a being of light. That will empower you as you move on through your day. And as far as your body goes, call the light out of every cell. Call life and vitality out of your body by seeing every cell glowing in light. You can go through in meditation and just kind of turn on the light. Image yourself turning on the light in every cell in your body. Believe me, your body can use it. Number 4, Far be it from me without presenting something controversial. Relax and concentrate on the world you see before you until you can see the sparkles permeating the vision before you. So when you can see the sparkles, then turn your thoughts to your prayer goals and realize Spirit is moving. Try that. I do a lot of open eye meditation. Most people close your eyes because you want to internalize. But once you learn how to achieve peace internally, you should be able to keep your eyes open and feel that same deep sense of peace. And if you can do that, at some level, you'll begin to see the sparkles. You say, I've tried, I don't see the sparkles. Then what I'm going to suggest is fake it till you make it, right? Image, as you're looking out at the world, take a moment to kind of image those sparkles coming alive. They're brilliant little sparkles coming alive throughout your field of vision. Once again, at some point, it'll stop being something that you're using your will to image and something that you're actually just experiencing. And when you reach that level, if you can see the sparkles, it's amazing how powerful your prayers are. Remember this idiot who used to think that dissolving clouds was a good way to use this. And doesn't anymore, because I don't use that type of will. But there was a period in my life where it's important to prove the power of Spirit. And I'll tell you, when you see the sparkles, spiritual forces begin to move. Number 5. In meditation, simply explore, I am a being of light, until it becomes an experience. There is a huge difference between imaging yourself glowing in light and glowing in light. But if you hold the image long enough, you will pass over a threshold where you're not using your will anymore. You're not holding an image. You are literally experiencing glowing in light. So in meditation, you start. You start by imaging what you want to fulfill. You reach inside, reaching for that light of life at the center of your being. And you reach inside and you either find it or you image it. And if you image it, you image it as a speck of light at the center of your being, and you hold your concentration on there until it grows, until you can grow it into a ball of light at the center of your being. And then you let that light expand out throughout your whole body until you realize your whole body is glowing in light. And then you realize you are not limited by your body. And you let it go out 3 inches, 6 inches, a foot in all directions. And I mean into the earth and up. If there's somebody next to you, it goes right into the, light's doesn't have a problem with permeating something that's physical. And then you go to 3 foot. And you begin to experience yourself and hold that image of yourself as a glowing being of light. Out 3 foot in all directions. And I will guarantee you, if you'll hold it long enough, and I have no idea, for everyone it's different, you'll pass over the threshold because you are a being of light. And you will eventually awaken up to that realization. Number 6, image the light of God suffusing this planet and all who are here, not just the good guys. It's dividing the world into good guys and bad guys that has created all our problems. Us and them. It's real hard to experience the light when you're still thinking in terms of us and them. It's just we. So what we want to do is be God's emissaries. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, right? The whole thing belongs to God, not just a little piece of it. Everyone. And hard as this sounds, particularly at this time in history, we've got to image the light of God moving through the whole planet and everyone who's here. My wife listens to all kinds of podcasts, spiritual podcasts, and she's got some psychic or whatever who is trying to tell her what's going to happen, and says, "Ooh, and I've had this vision that what's going to happen is she talks about a few negative things that could happen between now and then. But there is going to be this huge flash of light, and everyone's going to see it. Boom! And some will be able to absorb it and some won't, but we'll all as a group begin to realize we need to work together instead of against each other if we want to survive." I love the image. I never know whether any of this stuff is legitimate or not. But I'd like to think this is. That would be nice. But until it happens, I'm going to image it happening. Because that's my job as a child of God. Number 7 is really just taking number 6 a little further. Give special attention to radiating light into the darkness that this world is expressing right now. There are lots of places in this world that we as the light bearers, everyone should be. But if you're aspiring to waking up at all, you're ready to take on the job of radiating light into the dark areas of life. Spend time each day knowing that the light of God shines through you to the deepest darkness that you've seen. Because you've seen it, it's your job. Shine the light in there. Affirm the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. God light is flowing through this world. And then the kicker. And there is no darkness that can stand up to light. You walk into a dark room. You switch on the light. The darkness doesn't put up a struggle. It just disappears. Because all it was the absence of light. the not knowing that God was there. So realize we came here. I don't know, the older I get, the more I ask myself why I came here. And is there another planet I can choose next time? And I realize that's my personality speaking, not my soul. It has chosen this planet. It is mine. We came here simply to be here during this dark time. And during this time, to be the channel of some very much needed light. So, conclusion? It's really simple, one sentence. Remember, we're here to turn on the light. You want to know why you're here? To turn on the light. So let's close our eyes. And we move inward into our hearts and through our hearts to the very center of our being. And from deep within that center, that soul in which resides the light of life, the deepest part of our being, we hear the call, be still and know that I am God. So for a moment there at the center of your being, know you are immersed in God's love. And in God's light. So there at the center of your being, reach for the light of life. That experience of light at the center of who you are. And as you reach for it, finally image it. Image it as this speck of light at the center of your being. And hold that vision of what you're reaching for. And see that light glow into a ball. A radiant ball of the light of life, God light. And image that ball growing until the light seeps into every part of your body and through every corner of your mind. Until you realize that I am much more than body. I am a being of light. That's the eternal part of me. For it's the light of God that gives me my life. And that light cannot be harmed. It cannot be killed. That light is who I am underneath all this other disguise. So as you feel your whole body glowing in light, sense yourself reaching out, and your sense of self reaches beyond your body, out 3 inches, 6 inches. Feel yourself as a being of light extending 6 inches beyond your body in all directions. Then extend it out to a foot. And finally go out 3 foot. I am a being of light, way beyond this body. I am the light of God glowing through me. Take a moment to bless your body. It needs all the help it can get. So go through in light. Imagine from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Just feel a flow as you're lighting every cell, the light in every cell, turning on the light as it flows down through your body. And with this light comes vitality. And well-being. Now in your mind's eye, see the sparkles. For the light of God is sparkling everywhere. Now gently open your eyes and looking forward, whatever you see, in absolute peace, see the sparkles everywhere, permeating this world. And if you can't see them at first, image them there. And they'll begin to appear. Now close your eyes again and think of anything in your world that causes you fear or worry. And having seen the sparkles, surround whatever it is in light and declare, God is right there in the midst of this. And then stretch it out. We are here to serve God, to be the channel through which God's light shines into this world. Ye are the light of the world. So think of the darkness and the danger throughout our world, but just abstractly, without the fear. And see light flowing through your heart and into all the world around you. We think of each area of darkness, and we concentrate on lighting it. God is there in the midst of this. We image that flash of light moving through the whole world that everyone sees. And we declare, there is no darkness that can stand up to light. I am here to simply be the light. God is in charge of this world. And in spite of all appearances, I trust that all is well. Just let your light shine and see that as you walk through life, the light of God is a bubble around you, but shining into everything you encounter. I am the light of the world. Not because I am anything special, but because I can be still and know it is not I, but the Spirit within, the light within me that shines through me. God, thy will be done through each and every one of us. Thy will be done. Amen. If our usher will come forward, we'll prepare for our offering. Oh, yeah. Haven't done this in a while. For all of you at home, the way you give your offering is you go to the home page following service and you can hit Donate Now, use a credit card or PayPal. You can mail us an offering, pull our address off, or you can use Zelle to give us an offering, or you can call the office and arrange for regular offerings if that's more comfortable for you. In any case, we thank you for your support. All of us here? That's only one way to do it. You put it in the bag, right? Let's bless our offering together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Thank you, God. Amen. It's all yours, Brian.
Thank you, Reverend Bob. And here's another Brian Einar classic. Divine light shines. 2, 3, 4. I walk a narrow path. I walk with rod and staff. I speak your word and it comforts my soul. When in the still silence may stumble in a world that's full of rubble. Sometimes our humanness will cause us to fall. Open up to spirit guidance, illuminating omnipresence, listening in the silence for spirit to come. And I feel grateful you're lighting up my love divine light shine. And I feel grateful you're lighting up my love divine light shine. And I feel grateful you're lighting up my love divine light shine. And I feel grateful you're lighting up my love divine light, my love divine light, my love divine light shine, divine light shine, divine light shine, divine light shine.
Oh, that was perfect. It's great working with you guys. You make, I take them down, you take them up. So we're going to send you out on a high note, or at least a really pretty one. Okay, thank you. Thank you, whether you're at home or whether you're here. Thank you for being Unity Orlando. Thank you for being my spiritual family. Next Sunday. Now, it doesn't seem like I've been back for long, but originally I was going to be back for 2 weeks. It just didn't work out. God thought you needed to hear the Reverend Don Barton, so he arranged for that. But next week, Paul Kenny will be speaking on the topic surviving grief. I believe he is the resident expert on the topic. And we all, whether it's losing someone close to us, a job, or something in life we're worried about losing, maybe it's ourselves. He's going to talk about surviving grief. Whether you realize it or not, this is a very universal issue. So I hope you'll be here next week. Let's all rise. Let's close this service off. We're going to bless the whole world with our prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all.